There is an image of John Cena on the bottom of this, but you can't see him.
This is Markin Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Follow on Twitter. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Marking Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Running like fisting. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. We're marking out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans.
Welcome to Markin Out, Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. This is episode 775. Thanks for listening. Make sure you're checking us out at markinout.com. Also, subscribe and download wherever you are listening to podcasts, such as on Spotify. And please, go give us a like on Facebook. But also buy a t-shirt over at prowrestlingtees.com/markinout. And don't forget to follow us on TikTok at markinout, on Twitter at markinout, and on Instagram at markinout11. Also, you can check each and every one of us out. That's right, you can check me out, Dave the Rave, on all social media platforms at David PTDPT. You can follow Chris at CMSweeney85 on Instagram and Chris Sweendog on Twitter. And you can follow Brandon on all social media platforms at BTTG161. But that being said, Brandon, how are you?
I am doing awesome as always. How about yourself?
Oh, we love to hear that. I am doing good. I'm doing very good. I'm getting ready for, I guess, the end of John Cena's wrestling career.
Da-na-na-na.
Yeah. This is it.
Yeah.
This is the week that we've all been, I don't know,
dreading,
looking
Got
forward.
That little kid holding up his cap right now.
Yeah, looking forward to, but also not looking forward to. You know, they gave us the date. They said that this was going to be taking place December 13th, and we're there. We're at that time where John Cena says goodbye to professional wrestling.
I honestly still can't believe. If you told me we were told in January. Or last year, actually.
Well, last year. Yeah, last year
we
at
were told last
Money
year.
in the Bank, I believe.
If you told me that John Cena was retiring at the end of 2025, I would say John Cena was 100% going to be doing another holiday tour at Madison Square Garden. And they're not even doing a holiday tour because they were just at Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate. But I completely understand it, so.
Yeah, it's totally unfortunate, you know, especially you were telling me that he's nearing 25 years with WWE. And, you know, it's very unfortunate because it's one of those things that you don't know what you have until it's gone. We were told that we were having a breakup at this specific date, and the date is here. And now it's kind of like, looking back on it, we have to be very grateful for everything that he's given and the sacrifices and everything. And like, I was listening to the CVV podcast where he interviewed John Cena, and it's funny because I'm listening to him, and I can actually relate a lot to what I was hearing at times with the sacrifices and everything like that, where he was really saying that.
I thought you were going to say with the who cares.
No, he was talking about how with all of his sacrifices and trying to keep his focus on what he had to get done and what he knew he had to do. And because of that, he really didn't have a close circle to him. He didn't really have friends too much. Or needless to say, he didn't really have anybody like that because he was always focused on what he had to get done and stuff. And I definitely related to that because I had to make a lot of sacrifices through schooling and being away at school and stuff like that, to the point where now that I'm not away at school or in a career, when I'm not in my career, when I'm at home, I don't necessarily have that group of friends to be like, hey, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. I have my core group, but it's one of those
out
things.
Last week. What are you talking about?
with somebody within a core group.
That's
but
what friends are. Friends are a core group. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but outside of like a select very few.
You're like John Cena had zero friends, but I had some friends.
Yeah, but I mean, he says zero, but come on now, he still had people. But yeah, I definitely understood what he was saying and stuff like that. I just understand. And he was talking about how going through pro wrestling, he was just starting to feel it in the ring, and how he said that he couldn't really continue at the pace of the WWE, which me and you spoke about it and everything already. I get it. He can't, especially with the balance of everything else that he has going on, that he wants to focus. I feel like this is one of the guys that his personality and what he has to do, he needs one thing that he could focus on 110%. Otherwise, he won't do it. And he's not that kind of person that wants to do multiple things at the same time to get them done. He wants to focus on one thing and make it great. And it's just unfortunate that this is going to be it with his professional wrestling career. But his interview with CVV was incredible. Hearing him put over so many people on that podcast and talking about everything that potentially would have been and could have been. And yeah, it gives a good perspective as to John Cena himself. I know you've heard a few clips from it too.
He had a lot of good interviews this past week, despite what the IWC says.
Why? What are they saying? Because
John Cena's a robot. John Cena's a company guy. His answers are all the same. It's no answer. You're not getting any answer from him. No wisdom.
That's ridiculous. Truly ridiculous.
Right there, that's the wisdom. If you're thinking, like, who cares? If he's a company guy, isn't that what you're supposed to be? Like, you're supposed to be a company person. You're supposed to play by the rules. Everybody wants controversy and stuff like that and juicy answers. But that's not the way it really should be. You know, play by the rules. Do what you're told. Do what you should do to get your goals and your dreams. That's how you do it. IWC is just stupid.
Well, how was your week?
My week was very good because also I saw that they released an episode with Chelsea Green. So I have to listen to that. But now I'm done with John Cena, so now I can listen to Daniel Bryan, and then I have to listen to Chelsea
Danielson.
So,
pal.
Yes, Bryan Danielson. Sorry. Old school. But yeah, everything else was... Yeah. Everything else was very good. I am just caught up with pro wrestling this week, and yeah, I'm excited. What about you?
I've been going through it.
I didn't do anything
iPhone.
else, did I?
What?
I didn't do anything else, I think.
I have no idea. But my iPhone automatically updated to that stupid iOS. I think it's 26. I truly don't understand who these updates are for or how it makes it easier for the consumer.
Yeah, Chris texted me that he was really pissed off at it too.
Literally every single update that I've seen from this new update, and some people, I posted a video, so I don't know if it was on the video I posted or a comment. People have already had this update for a few months now. My phone just updated it itself. I hated the fact that it updated itself, but every single update that I found, literally all annoying. Every update. They changed all my settings. I spent so long on my settings. I've never had an iPhone before this phone. So I spent so long on my settings, and then, guess what, brother? You got to redo all your settings. And then I tried to get them to back how, like, as close as possible to how they were. It's literally, like, if I was giving an anti-shout-out this week, it'd be to Apple for that. Absolute trash. That liquid glass feature that they added, it's very dizzying. Everything that they added to this phone, I'm, like, very dizzying. What dizzied by? What word would I use there? It makes me dizzy. I don't know if they tested this stuff with ADA regulations or anything, but I really don't see how. And then they're like, people are like, oh, you could turn this feature on, you could turn this feature off and do this and this. guess what? Liquid glass is still there, and you can't turn liquid glass off. I have no idea why they did that feature. That's garbage.
I saw liquid glass. I don't know what that is. What is liquid glass?
They just made everything look like glass. Even like your lock screen. When you would open your phone, your whole lock screen would move up. Now, just the liquid glass moves up. Your background stays, which that could be fine, but it magnifies random things on it like glass, and it makes me freaking dizzy. And then once you open it up, the freaking desktop moves, whatever you would call it. All the icons, it's like you're on a roller coaster. I hate it. I truly hate it.
That's weird.
I've had to contact Apple to try to like get settings. Like, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this?
And what
Ridiculous.
they say, they're like, were they like, listen, Grandpa, maybe?
No, some of the settings were able to change. And then like I spoke to one woman, she goes, I literally just updated the iOS before I went to work, and I understand why so many people are calling in to complain.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know who they did this for. I truly don't.
Yeah, some of the stuff that they do really doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't understand
my
why.
whole camera. If I wanted to take a picture before, I would go to my camera, and if I needed to change the aspect ratio, I would swipe up on the screen and then click the aspect ratio that I wanted. Now I have to go through aspect ratio just to get the freaking ratio that I want. Why am I pushing extra buttons to do the same thing that I did previously in like two pushes?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I found a bug in the software, reported that's for sure. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like it should just be kept simple. I mean, why doesn't Android have all this stuff happening?
Maybe they do. I don't have an Android. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, my friends that do have Androids, they swear by it.
Yeah, because they're Android.
Maybe we're just messing up and sticking. Maybe we're just messing up and sticking to Apple.
No, they're Android folk. My phone connects to my laptop. That's like enough for me to have an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
When it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I've been just going through all that this week. But we had Monday Night Raw kicking off with Gunther. And he said that John Cena is the greatest sports entertainer of all time. But on Saturday, John Cena faces the greatest pro wrestler of all time. And I thought that was a really, really good line.
Solid promo from him. And I think that was very important for him to have such a solid promo, especially going into a matchup with John Cena, who's probably, I mean, if anything, top 5 promo cutters within WWE history.
John Cena.
So I think
John Cena is a never give up sort of guy. Gunther spoke about how he's going to force John Cena to give up at Saturday night's main event. Only 4 people have made John Cena tap out. Only 2 people have made Gunther tap out.
Really?
Ilya Dragunov, Jey Uso for Gunther. John Cena is Jericho, Benoit, Kurt Angle, and Rusev.
Wow. How about that for a roster? No.
I think
I don't know. That
would
would
be a very
be
well done segment with Gunther.
And that would be incredible if that did happen. If he was able to make John Cena tap, that would be incredible for his career.
And a lot of people are like, John Cena needs to win his final match. Let him go out on top like Sting did. John Cena got to his 100th PLE pay-per-view victory. Maybe he doesn't want to go over that.
Yeah, but why does John Cena need to win?
I don't know.
Who needs the victory more?
Not to mention, Sting, I thought, had one of the worst retirement tours. Sting did not lose once. He was facing people who are now basically enhancement talent.
Mm-hmm.
It did nothing.
Well,
Yeah,
with the Young Bucks, the
unfortunate.
glass and ladders, it was so great. They won the tag titles. Tony Khan put
Great.
Sting out on top. That's how legends should go out.
Yeah.
First match of the evening saw Io Sky pick up the victory over
we'll get
Kairi
a good laugh
Sane.
of that. We'll
What?
get a good laugh of that once Sting returns to the WWE.
Somebody asked Sting. It really annoys me. I don't know what the deal is. Like, we see figures of Jake Roberts. Jake Roberts is in the video game. We see figures. Billy Gunn is in the video game as well. I don't see why there can't be some sort of legend deal with Sting. Maybe it gets... no, because Billy Gunn got an AEW figure too. I have no idea.
I'm sure it has to do with... First, it has to do with AEW, but maybe Gunn signed it when he wasn't under contract with
No,
AEW.
it was brand new. It was just a new contract with Billy Gunn.
So then I could probably see it being either an AEW thing, or maybe it could be a Sting thing too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
saw him. Somebody asked him about, will we ever see you? I don't know if it was get figures again or something, but he said, I'm very happy with AEW or something, but it just doesn't make sense because we have the others. It's the same thing with Bryan Danielson. Like,
that's the thing with Sting. Like, what's that?
I was gonna say, if they're getting those figures and being in the video games and stuff, I don't see why. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know what their contracts are or anything like that, but
we don't know necessarily what their contracts are. But on the other hand, Sting may be just not wanting to do it and flat out refusing it because Sting seems like probably one of the most loyal people out there when it comes to contracts and pro wrestling and stuff like that. So maybe Sting himself just feels like he can't do something like that at the current time.
I don't know. But they, not that I collect figures anymore, but one was left on that table that upset a lot of folk.
Oh.
So.
Holy moly.
But, and everyone's like, oh, Sting always lost in WWE. He's 50-50.
Yeah.
Including one match with John Cena where he teamed up with him against Seth Rollins of the Big Show. And then he went out, unfortunately, due to an injury, in a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like I was saying, Io Sky picked up the victory over Kairi Sane. I believe this was the second time that we've seen this match one-on-one. They wrestled back in October, and I enjoyed that match more. But this match was still good.
Mm-hmm.
It had kind of similar endings, but Asuka got involved, which had Rhea back Asuka up. Kairi was able to take advantage of that, and then Io eventually took over, and Asuka stopped the over the moonsault, just like she did the last time. But Rhea Ripley took Asuka out before Kairi could take advantage of that distraction or whatever. Io ends up reversing Kairi with a Hurricane Rana. And then after 3 attempts, she hit the over the moonsault to get that victory. Last time, Kairi got the win.
I love that they will go back and forth with the trading off victories. I mean, I feel like any time that the two of them face each other in the ring, it's just such a benefit to the fans because they are so damn good. In the ring, out of the ring, their charisma. I feel like that's something that really sets them up different from a lot of other people too. It's not just their in-ring abilities and that strong style suit, but their charisma is so sky high that they can rope any fan into being entertained by their matches. And this match definitely, I had a lot of fun watching it.
But their last match in October was more of a banger. So watch that one too.
Yeah, true.
After that, we were supposed to see Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor. It did not happen because Logan Paul ends up attacking Rey Mysterio from behind. because of what Rey Mysterio did to him last week, I guess. He slapped Logan Paul. He tried to use the brass knucks, but Rey Mysterio fought back, and then the hooded guy showed up again, stomped Rey Mysterio out, and then Logan Paul knocked Rey Mysterio out. LA Knight jogged down and Logan ran off. LA Knight challenged Logan Paul to a match. Famously, we'll put a pin in it.
Yeah, not a good idea. Bad decision to make that challenge. But next up, you had AJ Lee, Dragon Lee and AJ Styles, not AJ Lee, pick up the victory over War Raiders to retain their championship. The pairing of these two is just so much fun, and I really like the aspect of them taking on the War Raiders, especially. I've always been a fan of size difference matches and strength powerhouse different matches, which is actually kind of funny because growing up, I had my bouts where I didn't like Rey Mysterio versus Big Show and stuff like that, but I feel like now I really appreciate seeing those two paired up against each other, and AJ Lee versus the War Raiders definitely held up to my standards.
You had New Day sitting ringside for this. Prior to the match, they were backstage yelling at Adam Pearce. But for me, this match took some time to get going. I think one of the biggest spots of this match was Dragon Lee lifting up Ivar multiple times. Whether or not it was supposed to be multiple times, I have no idea. I thought the selling was fine on that. I thought the fact that Dragon Lee, the move at the end looked somewhat messy. Dragon Lee struggled to get Ivar up. Why should the move look perfect?
Yeah.
So whether that was supposed to happen or not, I don't know. But to me, everything in my head there made sense. Other people are like, botch, that was a botch. Look at that, 3 times botch, botch, botch. I thought it looked fine.
You do such a great impression of the annoying IWC.
Of Meltzer? Of Alvarez? It's ridiculous.
I hate Meltzer.
I like the Viking experience that they did from the apron. I was also very surprised to see Ivar actually hit the moonsault. That's something we don't normally see from Ivar. But I thought that was about to be it. AJ Styles ends up breaking up that pin. The Hurricane Rana spot from AJ I thought was a bit messy, but also nice at the same time. And then he hits the phenomenal forearm on Ivar to get the victory. And I like the fact that this match took place because it was the champions going out of their way saying, we want a challenge. We want to put the titles on the line. We want a match against a team we think deserves it. We had New Day get in the ring afterwards. Then the Usos showed up to Jey Uso's theme song. And Jimmy announced that they're back in the tag division. Not in my book, they're not. You're not coming out to Jey Uso's theme song saying we're back as a team.
You should tweet to them.
It's ridiculous.
You should tweet to them.
I've not tagged them, but I have angrily tweeted during Monday Night Raw and whatever other event they've been a team at.
No, you should definitely tag them.
It's ridiculous. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're like, oh, it's the same.
Exactly. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe
part
they're
of
not
the
thinking
IWC,
about it like
or maybe I'm not even want to saying the. Maybe don't even want to say the IWC. There are some people online saying you can't yeet to the Usos theme song. It's the same theme song, but about both of them instead of just Jey Uso. You can 100% yeet to the Usos theme song. So until they give me that, I don't know if they're going to ever come back with that theme song. I have no idea. Maybe it's writing on the door, writing on the wall. What is the saying? Writing on the wall. One of them is going to turn on the other.
Way too much.
I don't know.
Yeah.
After that, we saw Stephanie Vaquer come out. She wants to face everyone. She's champion. She put over the locker room while speaking to Nikki Bella. Nikki came out and said they're not done, and she demanded a rematch. And then Raquel Rodriguez showed up, sent Nikki Bella into the ring post. She told Stephanie Vaquer to name the time, name the place. And I'm glad that we got this because Adam Pearce did say that Raquel was in contention for the title. So that everything happened with Nikki Bella. So I'm glad that we're getting a continuation there.
Okay, so I'm okay with the continuation. I just don't want to see Vicaire lose to her.
She's not. And after later on or whatever, Liv Morgan questioned Raquel about it, and she was like, "Oh, I was surprised," which she's like playing it off as like, "Oh, it's fine with me," sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Things don't necessarily seem great with the Judgment Day. But Liv Morgan, she like brushed it off and she's like, "Oh, well, since Raquel's going to do this, I'll be in your corner," to Roxanne, and we'll be the next tag team champions. Alluding to, I guess, Raquel being the world champion. I don't think that's happening at all. I think something else will eventually come into play here where maybe a split of the Judgment Day, I don't know.
So you think that they will end up splitting or that they won't?
I don't know. But I don't see Raquel winning the championship. I don't see Liv and Roxanne becoming tag team champions. I don't see Liv being fine with Raquel having this match.
I don't know how I feel about this because just the other week, Liv Morgan returned and they were all fine together.
No, but she raised their arms as if she was going after the championship and they were going to be tag team champions.
Mm-hmm.
Now the script is flipped.
True. I could see the argument both ways. I kind of want to see them work together as a team a little bit longer first.
I don't think it's going to be a quick thing. I don't think... I mean, we've thought the Judgment Day were going to be breaking up for years now at this point, so...
That's true. I mean, we're still waiting for Big E to return at Royal Rumble. But next up, you had Maxine Dupree.
No, you had Roxanne Perez pick up the victory over Lyra Valkyria.
Yes.
Very good match. I like this match a lot. Roxanne worked on Lyra's arm during the whole match, and I liked that when Lyra powerbombed Roxanne, she couldn't make the pin that she normally would because of her arm being hurt. We saw Liv Morgan get up on the apron, and Bayley knocked her over. She didn't get off the apron, though, and I thought that was interesting. And Roxanne ends up taking Bayley out. Lyra ends up getting sent into Liv Morgan when the referee was distracted. Liv Morgan attacked Lyra. She kicked Lyra in the face. And that led to Roxanne hitting Pop Rocks, getting the victory there. I thought that was a well-done ending to that match.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that Roxanne Perez should pick up that victory against Valkyria. And this was just a very solid match, a very solid wrestling match. And with Lyra having as much experience as she does, it shows how good of a wrestler Roxanne Perez is as well, being able to pair up with her. And, yeah. But next up, you had Roxanne.
Could you believe people are saying that Lyra Valkyria is not unique?
I don't understand most of their arguments.
I asked for further inquiries on that, and I did not get anything.
Yeah. I don't understand how. That
doesn't
doesn't make any sense to me how she's not unique.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. But next up, you had a segment featuring Maxine Dupree. Hey, she got the tap out in this one, though.
Yeah, she was tapping people out left and right, and then Natty said, "Try it on me," and she was able to tap Natty out, and then she goes again, which played into the video from last week. Again, this was a very well done video. Natty said we're only seeing the beginning of this, so I'm looking forward to whatever's next. Obviously, this is more so the Natty character than Natalya.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very much so looking forward to these videos or matches, whatever happens with Maxine Dupree.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I guess we're going to see, I don't know, when are we going to see her again in a match?
Who knows?
You know? I guess she's going to train a little bit. And then I guess at some point, maybe her versus Natty, and then she drops the title to Natty.
No, I think
Like Natty
the
says-
first match would probably be her and Ivy Nile. I still think we'll see that.
I agree with you. I think we'll see that, but I think like a payoff could be her versus like Natty. Natty being
But if
I
Natty,
trained you.
If Natty faces her, I can't see Natty winning the title.
I kind of can.
I'm not sure.
I kind of can see that. But next up, you had a matchup where Logan Paul picked up the victory over L.A. Knight. Yeah. Logan Paul, what's the IWC saying about him?
Well, what aren't they saying about him?
Oh, I'm sure. Pure talent.
I mean, some of it I get, but I don't see. You can't argue that he's not good in the ring or as a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
But Logan Paul attacked LA Knight right before the bell rang and had control for a good chunk of this. And it was interesting to see Logan Paul more integrated into the show. But eventually, the Vision made their way out. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed got involved, and the referee kicked them from ringside. After Bronson Reed hit a headbutt to LA Knight, the referee didn't see that. And then the masked man showed up, stomped LA Knight on the commentary table while Paul Heyman was distracting the referee. Logan Paul
should say, I think potentially a different masked man.
I don't know.
Maybe.
And I'm not about to speculate like the IWC is.
Yeah. I mean, it's pure speculation, we'll just say.
But Logan Paul hit the frog splash, got the victory, and then the Vision beat LA Knight down afterwards. He got a spear. He ate 2 tsunamis.
This really made the IWC happy.
They cut to commercial. I thought that was about to be the end of Raw. And they were like, we'll hear from Paul Heyman. They cut to commercial. Paul Heyman comes back. He spoke about Braun Breaker versus CM Punk at Barclays Center on January 5th. Braun Breaker then questioned where CM Punk was. He said he doesn't buy this version of CM Punk. He wants the old CM Punk. He did say the one that beat The Rock. CM Punk did not beat The Rock. That was something that always pissed people off, that The Rock beat CM Punk for the championship. But he wants the old CM Punk. They showed LA Knight on the screen, and he's like, I'm not done. Tried to go back to the ring. So Logan Paul and Bronson Reed ran back stage.
Well, before you continue, I think that something that was shocking was Bronson Reed also saying that after he takes his title, maybe he's going to take his
Braun
wife.
Breaker?
Like
Braun Breaker?
Yeah, Braun Breaker.
The promo was very well done from him.
I gotta say, like, Braun Breaker's promos have been very surprising. I think that to any naysayers that was saying that he did it, I feel like it's kind of like that Roman Reigns effect or similarity, where part of the Shield, Roman Reigns was like a powerhouse and everything, but the problem was you didn't really hear him cut promos. But
to
then
be
he
fair,
became
though,
this person.
to be fair, Roman Reigns is not. His promos are different, low and slow sort of things. Mm-hmm. Braun Breaker, people were like, he can't cut a promo, blah blah blah. He sucks. And then he goes, how dare you? And just fires on them.
Yeah, he's just pure adrenaline. And yeah,
the Scotty Steiner
he has
effect.
no filter. Yeah, no filter at all.
So Logan Paul, Bronson Reed head to the back. LA Knight tried to fight back, but they put him through a table. He still wasn't done. Bronson Reed hit a tsunami in the parking lot onto a, what would you describe that as? A crossover? I was going to say car, but I feel like it's not a car. A vehicle.
Crossover.
And then the IWC, he's going to AEW. They ruined him. He's buried. Like, he's going to AEW.
He's getting released and this and that. And then the next day it gets put out that he actually has many years on his contract. 2026 is supposed to be a big year for him. and that so they say, the WWE backstage were surprised by the response of the IWC.
Maybe.
Come on.
Maybe he's winning the Royal Rumble.
Ooh.
This keeps him off TV till January, perhaps. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was some people complained about the length of that segment. It could have been, I think, because of that commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
I think if that commercial break wasn't there, I don't think we would have seen the complaints. But that was...
Okay, I could understand.
That was Monday Night Raw. Moving back to NXT Deadline. Open with the championship on the line. Oba Femi picked up the victory over Ricky Saints. Become the new NXT champion.
Wow.
Was very surprised.
I mean, yeah, I think everybody was totally surprised by this because, I mean, Ricky Saints just recently defeated him. Nobody really expected him to get defeated by Oba Femi at this current time, especially with the announcement of the champion's going to be facing Cody Rhodes. I even said last week, if it's Oba, I mean, how do you have Oba lose to somebody on the main roster?
Yeah. And he controlled a good chunk of this match.
Mm-hmm.
Saints got Femi down a few times, but in those moments, Femi was quick to get up. Saints hit that tornado DDT outside the ring. He hit one inside the ring. Oba Femi kicked out. I was surprised that Ricky Saints got Oba Femi up for the Rochambeau. But Oba got out of that. He powerbombed him, which Ricky Saints kicked out of. Eventually lost to the fall from grace, though. And now, like you said, he moves on to Saturday night's main event to face the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. Huge match.
Crazy.
That's a huge match for Oba Femi.
Oh, yes.
After that, we saw Kendall Gray win the Iron Survivor Challenge. The Evolve champion. You had Kalani Jordan and Kendall Gray start this match. I think they had a really good opening 5 minutes. And right before the clock hit 5 minutes, Kendall Gray got the first pin. So Kalani Jordan had to go to the penalty box. Out came Jordan Grace. They had like a one-on-one for, I think it was 90 seconds is that penalty box. But Jordan Grace had Kendall locked in a submission, which Kalani Jordan broke up. She and Gray had a good chain of pin reversals. And it led to Kalani Jordan getting a point. I am a big fan of the Iron Survivor Challenge.
I'm a big fan of it, but I was not expecting it to be the winner only having 2 pins. Like, I was very surprised at that. I was very surprised at that.
But I don't think so.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm thinking of the men's match with the numbers.
You had Lola Vice out next. Instantly knocked out Kendall and got a point. And then when she got out of the penalty box, she was able to get a pin on Jordan Grace to get her second point. She blocked the one-of-a-kind moonsault, hits a German suplex. I thought she was going to get the pin there, but Lola Vice kneed Kalani in the face, only to have Jordan Grace break that pin up. And then Jordan Grace got a pin on Kalani Jordan before Sol Ruca got in. Sol Ruca was the last one in. Kalani didn't go straight to the penalty box. She pulled Sol Ruca off the apron. Sol Ruca, I guess you could say, re-injured her knee, so the medics came out. They took her to the back. I liked, in that final stretch of the match, Jordan Grace doing the John Cena shoulder blocks and going for the 5-knuckle shuffle. I thought that was a cool way to pay tribute to somebody who actually put her in the match.
Yeah.
But Kalani Jordan put a stop to that. She hit a Spanish fly off the apron to Jordan Grace. And Sol Ruca ran back down and attacked her. She hit the Soul Snatcher on Kalani and Lola, then scored 2 points. Kalani Jordan and Lola fought in the box. The way Sol Ruca got Kendall in the Dragon Sleeper, I thought was really cool.
Yeah,
And
I
then
agree.
Jordan
That was
Grace
really
joined
cool how
in for that
that's-
submission. I thought maybe we were going to see
Yeah,
like
and that
a
setup was really nice.
I thought we were going to see a double tap out there or like a 2-point sort of victory there. But Lola Vice broke that up. And then Kendall hit Shades of Grey. Kalani Jordan broke that up. Stole the pin over Jordan Grace. Gave it a 3-way tie of 2 points each. And then Jordan Grace hit a German suplex on Lola Vice, which triggered a Northern Lights suplex on Kalani Jordan. So then Jordan Grace got that point. That was a nice setup. And then Lola Vice also tied it up. Got a knee to Kendall. Soul hit the Soul Snatcher off the steps to Lola Vice. Kalani Jordan kicked her knee out. And she hit the 450, almost stole that point, but Jordan Grace broke that up. Kendall in the end hit Shades of Grey from the top rope, literally seconds left in that match, and scored the point to win. A lot of people were shocked about that. I didn't necessarily think that my pick was going to be the outcome, but I'm very happy that Kendall Gray won.
I do want to see at some point, like, there be a blowout victory. I feel like we have seen it, but I want to see, like, a blowout victory in one of these matches. Like, I don't want to see a close one, but I also don't want to see a last-minute pinfall like, getting the win. Like, I want to see somebody just blow out the entire Iron Survivor Challenge.
I don't think we've seen that.
I don't know if... I feel like we have, but I don't remember. And the only reason I say this is because the two that were on the card were, like, really last-minute victories. So that's the only reason I bring it up. But next up, you had Ethan Page pick up the victory over Mr. Iguana to retain his championship. Mr. Iguana, he could only do so much.
It was a fun match. Booker T was not having it with Mr. Iguana at all.
Mr. T. Booker T is just a hater.
At one point, Leyeska got involved, and Ethan Page spat on Leyeska, spiked it to the ground, which fired Mr. Iguana up a bit. The Iguana Rana to the outside I thought was dope, but not long after that, Ethan Page hit the Twisted Grin and got the victory over that. I think it was safe to say that Ethan Page was retaining that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
After that, you saw Izzy Dame pick up the victory over Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley had been crying all week, all day. So she had the tears coming down her face. So I thought that was a nice touch. But Sean Spears and Nico Vance stared Tatum Paxley down in the ring before the match started. So I thought maybe we would see something there. But she knew Izzy was coming from behind. She was literally shaking with anger. I thought Tatum Paxley was phenomenal in this match.
I agree. I think that the both of them, I'm really entertained by what they're doing, but also I think like their story and plot leading up to everything is just very engaging, and they had an awesome match. But
I mean, Izzy tried to get Tatum to forgive her, and she's like, "I didn't mean to do it," and just said whatever she could to try to get Tatum Paxley to, I guess, hug her. And she ended up throwing her into the steps when she hugged Tatum Paxley. And for the most part, Izzy controlled, I think, most of this match. Right until she slapped Tatum Paxley, I think that it was safe to say that she controlled most of this. I really liked that step-up enziguri that Tatum Paxley did off the commentary table. She also cleared off the table, hit the Psycho Trap on there. But Sean Spears gave Tatum Paxley those Barbie dolls. And Spears ripped the Tatum Paxley head off, and she slapped him, but a big boot and a sky high when she got back in the ring had Izzy Dame pick up the victory.
Yeah,
And
it was
then-
a very good victory for her.
And then on NXT, you had Tatum Paxley say that the old Tatum is gone now. She has nothing else to lose. Izzy has something to lose. And she held up making its debut, a Jazz Wears AEW Shawn Spears figure and a Nico doll.
Nobody was just like,
I don't know how they didn't think like, oh, Shawn Spears doesn't have a figure out yet. You could have used a
Doesn't he?
Ty Dillinger does.
But doesn't
I
feel like we saw?
I think Shawn Spears has one coming out.
Oh,
Maybe.
that's probably why.
But that was a Jazz Wears figure.
Yeah, that was definitely surprising, but it fit the bill. You know, it worked.
Main event of Deadline saw Javon Evans win the Iron Survivor Challenge. Leon Slater and Javon opened this match, and that was awesome. It was very even. And then right before the 5-minute mark, like the other match, Javon Evans got a point.
Yeah.
Miles Bourne picked this spot number 3. I'm just surprised that there weren't any pinfalls during that match. During his time.
I feel like there should. I get it that you want to have a competitive, but still, you know, I understand it could have been a match.
Miles
a
Bourne, I don't
pinfall
know.
during
Miles
that time.
Bourne not picking 1 or 2 and then not getting a point. I feel like that makes him look bad.
I don't think it makes him look bad.
You want to be in there to make sure you get enough points. So I think you would want to be in at 1 or 2 to get to potentially get that first point, like Javon Evans had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they even made reference on it on commentary about the advantage of having more time in the ring to collect wins.
Then Deion Lennox was out, and Leon Slater and Javon Evans took turns stomping him down. He ended up hitting a doomsday device with Leon Slater and with Miles Bourne. And then he took out Javon Evans to get a point. The last person in the Iron Survivor Challenge was Joe Hendry. He did the fall-away slam to Leon Slater and Javon Evans at the same time. He also got a point by pinning Miles Bourne. Miles Bourne still did not have a point there. I liked Javon doing that coast-to-coast swanton to Joe Hendry, and then Leon Slater hit the coast-to-coast on Javon Evans. He hit the swanton 450 on Joe Hendry to get the point. And then Miles Bourne finally got a point over Deion Lennox. That whole sequence with when Joe Hendry got back into the ring with Miles Bourne and Javon and Leon Slater, I thought was dope. The 4 of them, I think that was very well done.
It was very entertaining. I think that I feel like I think at some point you should have 2 heels start the match and just have them just rack up pinfalls on each other.
Well, you can't. I mean,
Why?
It's 90-second intervals, so the most you can get in 5 minutes is what?
True.
So, but
True.
Deion Lennox ended up locking Javon in the penalty box. So Javon had to climb up through the top. We've seen that spot before. He dove onto Deion Lennox, and then with seconds left, Javon pinned Miles Bourne and got the victory there. Both people who won were spot number 2.
Huh. That's interesting.
I
wonder
know why
if intentional.
I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, I feel like it would be unintentional, though.
And then Oba Femi came out, stared Javon Evans down. A video played of somebody walking on a bridge. Tony D'Angelo showed up, took out Javon Evans. He poured the cut-up hat, I guess, onto Javon.
And you knew who it was. Like, you predicted this.
Well, once that bridge spot happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You predicted this.
So that's how Deadline ended, moving over to NXT, which opened with Oba Femi saying that he's absolutely done with Ricky Saints. He spoke about Saturday night's main event. He went to talk about Tony D'Angelo. And then Ricky Saints came out. And he teased being sad about losing the title and then fired himself up. He said their record's tied. He wants his rematch. And then Javon Evans came out, spoke about winning the Iron Survivor Challenge. He's like, I don't want to wait until New Year's Evil. And Ricky Saints is like, don't do that. And Javon Evans didn't care. Oba Femi said no, and then Saints kind of like egged Oba Femi on. And Oba finally accepted. So because of that, Ava made that the main event. She also had to set up a fatal four-way between Joe Hendry, Dion Lennox, Miles Bourne, and Leon Slater to see who will go on to face the champion at New Year's Evil. I think that's happening next week.
I think so, but I'm not too sure. But next up, you had Kalani Jordan pick up the victory over Jordan Grace in a hard-hitting battle to open up our first matchup.
This was a much faster-paced match than I was expecting it to be. Very well done, by the way.
Agreed.
Kalani Jordan worked on Jordan Grace's knee throughout the match. She took out a chair to smash her knee onto the steps, but Jordan Grace moved, and then Jordan Grace went to use the chair. The referee took it. Kalani Jordan kicked her off the steps to the barricade. That was a phenomenal barricade spot. As much as I hate barricade spots, if you're going to make them unique, I'm going to most likely be a fan of it. And that was a unique sort of barricade spot. And then Kalani Jordan hit the 450 to get the victory.
Solid matchup. And
I like the
think...
modified Vader bomb that Jordan Grace did off the steps. I like that.
Yeah, that was a cool spot. Do you think we're going to start to see a different shade of Grace coming out of this?
Jordan Grace was super pissed off that she lost. And Thea Hale tried talking to her, telling her not to doubt herself. And Jordan Grace was not having that at all. So I feel like something will happen soon.
Yeah, it has to.
And then Thea Hale was like, oh, wait, I got to go. Because there was an open challenge, because at deadline, Blake Monroe spoke to Ava, and she pitched having an open challenge for the North American Championship. She was feeling inspired by her first successful title defense. And Ava's like, you're no Ilya Dragunov or Sami Zayn. And Blake Monroe was like, I'm more intense than Ilya Dragunov. I'm more beloved than Sami Zayn. She brought up John Cena, the originator of the U.S. Open Challenge. And then Ava finally agreed. You move on to the Blake Monroe Open Challenge. The whole locker room came out to answer. The way that they walked...
I liked everybody coming out to it because it's one of those things whenever there's an open challenge...
Though.
Why?
It looked too West Side Story for me.
Okay, I could understand that. I don't know. I sort of like it because it's like if you have an open challenge for a championship, why wouldn't
if they made it look more chaotic? We have seen that in the past. We have seen multiple people come out in the past like that. If they made it more chaotic, then I think it would have been better.
Who was doing that? Where we saw like the entire locker room. I
can't remember.
Was it like Axiom? I couldn't remember.
I don't know.
I can't remember, but yeah.
But Thea Hale came out from behind. She locked her in the Kimura. Blake Monroe tapped out. It was not a match, though. And then Jordan Grace. Blake Monroe blamed Ava afterwards. And she's like, I'm not doing open challenges anymore. And that popped me. And Ava's like, you were the one that suggested this. And then because of Thea Hale tapping Blake Monroe out, she set up a title match for Thea Hale next week. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Do you think that she could pick up the victory?
No.
I feel like it's going to be one of those things that she could have been champion, but she won't. But I feel like she's on her way to becoming a champion. You know? But next up, talking about people who can be champion at some point, we saw the in-ring debut of Shiloh Hill, picking up the victory over Alexis King. This kid's very entertaining.
At one point, he took his tooth out, kind of hulked himself up there.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen somebody take out their tooth to kind of like hulk up.
And then he hit that backdrop neckbreaker gimmick to get the victory there. I don't necessarily feel like his vignettes line up with his in-ring style.
Mm-hmm.
But the vignettes or the videos that they've been doing, I feel like I don't know how you can have that relate to a wrestling match. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that was a good first match for Shiloh Hill. After that, we saw Ethan Page put himself over. He spoke about John Cena leaving and how he'll fill the void that John Cena leaves. And he kept talking. The lights go out. Tony D'Angelo shows up, puts Ethan Page down. Zero follow-up from earlier, from Deadline. I don't know the decision there. Is Tony D'Angelo just going after the roster now instead of just one person? Just two people?
I don't know where this goes with him, though. Like,
I'm in that
he
same
had such a
boat.
great gimmick. Huh?
I said I'm in the same boat, but again, I feel like that Tony D'Angelo character was not making it to the main roster.
I kind of agree with you, but I feel like maybe a harder version, or I don't know, it could have.
I don't know.
Like,
who cares? As
I feel
John
like
Cena would say.
His gimmick could have, but I feel like right now it's a very drastic change to where we were at.
I think his gimmick could have in 2003.
Okay, true. Very true. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where we go from here because it's like we've seen it before, so it has to be something very drastic different than what we haven't seen from him in order for me to be like,
well,
okay,
so far he's
like,
attacking. He's attacking multiple people and throwing the hat shards on them.
Yeah. What does the hat shards
I don't know.
Again?
I have no idea. I mean, he wore a hat, so I don't know. Maybe they're people that wronged him. I can't connect any sort of dots there.
Yeah, I don't know.
After that, you saw Sol Ruca pick up the victory over Ren Sinclair. I thought this was going to go a lot differently, but with the same outcome. But I expected more of a technical match from Ren Sinclair. But Sol Ruca controlled basically the whole match. I didn't like that aspect of it. And I want to see more of Ren Sinclair. But afterwards was the main storyline section where Zarya showed up and Sol Ruca saw that. And Zarya left, so Sol Ruca chased through the crowd to get to Zarya, and she finally got to her in the parking lot, and they made up, and she's like, I want you to be at my side for Saturday night's main event. And she's like, oh, do you? That was terrible. That sounded like AJ Styles.
That's very true. I could hear that as AJ.
So we will see Sol Ruca in Zarya in Sol Ruca's corner.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we had Fatal
we'll
Influence. JC Jane spoke to Kendall about winning the Iron Survivor Challenge and being the Evolve champion. She also said that this is as good as it's going to get for Kendall Gray. And come New Year's Evil, she's going to lose. I think JC did a good job running Kendall Gray down. And Kendall Gray shot back about being the underdog. Fallon Henley and Laney Reed end up attacking Kendall and Ren. JC joined in. I was expecting to see something to happen there, but they're missing a third member of the Ren QCC. I would like to assume Carmen Petrovic has to be that third member. I don't know.
Carmen Petrovic.
We saw them. I think we saw them backstage together like months ago at this point.
I don't remember.
And then
it's been so long.
And then this Ren QCC thing started hitting the TV. I don't know. Main event, though. Oba Femi picked up the victory over Javon Evans to retain the NXT Championship. Javon was very quick to try to get the victory. And it looked like Javon could have won. And it would have been absolutely shocking. Especially after Booker T, that one point where Booker T got knocked over. And Javon was able to dive onto Oba Femi. The crowd was super behind Javon Evans here. The cutter spot had me thinking maybe we'll see that new champion. He hit 2 more cutters. And it looked like he was about to win. It looked like Oba Femi was out and not kicking out for the 3. And then Ricky Saints pulled the referee out.
Why, Ricky? Why?
He dove onto Ricky Saints, and then Oba Femi took Javon Evans out. That was a very exciting match. Ricky Saints told him not to do the match. He wanted to be the one to beat Oba Femi. Then you can have a match against me. Very interesting.
It's like we're seeing though that heel of Saints coming out as well. Especially the resentment over Javon Evans, which I feel like it sucks because Javon earned the title shot. But now what sucks even more, which I don't like because we get it a lot, it's going to turn into a triple threat. Javon Evans, Oba Femi, and Ricky
that's
Saints.
not necessarily what's going to be happening here.
We'll see, but I'm banking on it becoming a triple threat.
There is also a possibility now that Ricky Saints is showing that heel side, that the person on the main roster that's masked attacking people could potentially be Ricky Saints.
That's interesting. I mean, I would be a fan of that, especially because everybody's saying that it is Austin Theory, and I would love for a swerve where it's not Austin Theory.
Yeah.
That would be good.
So that's NXT. Moving over to SmackDown. It kicked off with Nick Aldis telling Cody Rhodes that Drew McIntyre sent a legal notice of an unsafe work environment. Cody crumbled that up. He went to the ring. He was super pissed off and said that if he was Drew McIntyre's boss, he'd fire him. But since he's not his boss, he can fight him. And then Oba Femi came out and he said that Cody's worrying about the wrong man. He said Cody's time is up and his time is now. I like that tie-in. Cody said that he's the one who beat John Cena for that WWE Championship. And he went to walk off. Oba Femi stopped him. And he held up the NXT Championship. They both went face-to-face, whatever, held up each championship they have. That was a good segment for Saturday night's main event. You had Ilya Dragunov pick up the victory over Tommaso Ciampa. You had a good segment backstage with Dragunov and Fraxium beforehand. The match between Dragunov and Ciampa I thought was awesome. Ciampa worked on Dragunov's knee throughout the match. Michael Cole mentioned that none of the other open challenge opponents have done that, so I thought that was interesting. I liked Ciampa suplexing Ilya Dragunov right on his knee onto the steel steps. Somehow, I don't remember how, I didn't see how, Dragunov got busted the heck open, his nose. Gargano ends up getting involved. Candice LeRae gets involved behind the referee's back. Ciampa almost stole that win. But Dragunov ends up reversing a pin and pins Ciampa to get the victory. Gargano, right after the match, attacked him. Ciampa joined in. Carmelo Hayes ran down and made the save. We had a segment with the Wyatt Six. Uncle Howdy spoke about Solo Sikoa, and he said Solo's real family all turned their backs on him because he uses and abuses people that he loves. And he said that if you want the tag team titles, come take them. Solo's music hit, but the MFT and Solo appeared on the screen, and Solo said it's on his time. He's calling the shots next week. And I liked Solo incorporating the run from Bray Wyatt into this. I thought that was good. You had Lash Legend pick up the victory over Alexa Bliss. I liked Lash Legend catching Alexa Bliss off the apron when Alexa Bliss went for that rolling senton. That was like a perfect catch. And then she caught Alexa Bliss later on, but Alexa Bliss ended up turning that into a tornado DDT. I think that would have been a cool setup for the Sister Abigail DDT. But Alexa Bliss wasn't the one going over. Lash Legend eventually reversed a move from Alexa Bliss, hit the Lash extension, got the victory. And I'm glad that Lash Legend won because she definitely needs more wins, and this was a big win. And the whole night, by the way, focused around the women's tag team championships. Even with Rhea Ripley there, I thought everything that they did with the women on SmackDown was really good. You had Javon Evans pick up the victory over The Miz. This stemmed from a backstage segment. The Miz was super annoyed that Javon Evans is booked for Saturday night's main event, and he isn't. I thought this was going to be over pretty quick with the way Miz was talking it up. Like, I thought Javon was just going to do like a quick roll-up. But he promised that Javon Evans would not be making it to Saturday night's main event. And he was working on Javon's arm throughout the match. Miz, I liked hitting the 5-knuckle shuffle. He went for the attitude adjustment, but Javon reversed that. He ends up diving out onto Miz. And then went for the OG cutter. The Miz caught him, went for the skull-crushing finale. That was reversed. The reversal was reversed. Then Javon Evans hit the OG cutter to get the victory there. We were supposed to see Jade Cargill versus Mia Yim. That did not happen because while Mia Yim was backstage cutting a promo, Jade Cargill attacked her. She went to the ring. She said that's what happens when people try to step up to her. And then Mia Yim still, because she's Mia Yim, made her way out to the ring. She had a kendo stick, actually attacked Jade Cargill. I wasn't expecting her to even get any shots on. But Jade Cargill, Mia Yim went to go take out a table. Jade Cargill shut that down. Mia Yim kept going. Jade ends up choke slamming her. That was the end of that segment. You had the main event. The Terror Twins picked up the victory over Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. I liked that Zelina Vega tried to prevent Damian Priest from tagging Rhea in, but it had no effect at all. Zelina was able to get control over Rhea Ripley. Eventually, Rhea Ripley put her down. Damian Priest and Aleister Black got tagged in. And again, Zelina Vega tried to... I shouldn't say tried. She did. She jumped on his back, and then that time was enough of a distraction to get Aleister Black to take over for a bit. But Rhea Ripley tagged herself in. Zelina Vega was well aware of that. I like the double team moves that Aleister Black and Zelina Vega did to Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. That Code Red spot was scary. I think if they pulled it off exactly how it was supposed to go, it would have been epic. I think it was cool seeing Aleister Black and Rhea Ripley go face to face, especially with Aleister Black's history with Buddy Matthews. She ends up headbutting him. The Terror Twins both hit the Razor's Edge on Zelina Vega and Aleister Black, and then Rhea Ripley hit the Riptide to get the victory. So it was a shaky match, but still there were some cool moments during that match. Also, earlier in the night, I think it was pretty cool. They had videos for John Cena from Tom Brady, Eli and Peyton Manning, Snoop Dogg, Jimmy Fallon, Jelly Roll. All for Saturday night's main event, but that was SmackDown. Going to do predictions for Saturday night's main event. The last real champion, one last time. John Cena's retirement match. Damn.
Yeah.
You have AJ Lee picking up the victory over Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Or actually, I don't know. The titles aren't on the line, so who knows?
I'm gonna go, so we're picking that match right now.
I mean, we might as well. I'm gonna stick with AJ Lee picking up that win there, but without the titles on the line.
I'm gonna go titles not on the line and everything like that. I'm going Javon Evans and Leon Slater.
It's and then obviously that could lead to a title match, and I think it's really cool that we're getting that match because
if you think
there's at least some sort of payoff from Slammiversary between AJ Styles and Leon Slater. Not that the segment that they did at Slammiversary needed like a match payoff, but it's nice to see that.
Yeah, that's true about the payoff. But also, if you think about it, when you look at this, we can't have NXT not win one match. So now...
And it would be also... it'd be even bigger because TNA is involved in that match.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most blatant, obvious reaction of contract tampering.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a working relationship, but yeah, it's contract tampering.
Yeah. You're going to AJ?
I think I'll stick with them. Unless New Day shows up and cost AJ Lee the match.
It could. Let's go over to Bayley taking on Sol Ruca. I mean...
Now, this is also one of those things. Does Zarya cost Sol Ruca the match, or does Sol Ruca surprisingly get the victory over Bayley?
I kind of want to say Bayley, but I also kind of want to say the reason is because Zarya.
And then Sol Ruca doesn't like that?
That would be such a huge spot for the both of them, of Sol Ruca and Zarya.
I think it has to be Sol Ruca.
Do you think that Zarya is going to get involved?
I mean, she'll be ringside, we think, so I have to assume yes.
I'm going to say Bayley, and I'm going to say Zarya does cost Sol Ruca the match, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally. I think Bayley wins.
For nothing. Champion versus champion. WWE champion Cody Rhodes taking on the NXT champion Oba Femi. It's hard to not pick Cody Rhodes here, but...
Right? It has to be I'm going Cody. It has to be Cody. You can't have your undisputed WWE champion lose. I'm going to go Cody.
John Cena's retirement match.
You're going Cody?
Yeah, I'm going to say Cody.
Okay.
John Cena.
For John Cena versus... Yeah.
Versus Gunther. I would love for Oliver Platt to be ringside. I would love for Goldberg to be ringside. Goldberg makes more sense than Oliver Platt just because Gunther also retired Goldberg. So I think that would be like an obvious person that should be sitting ringside for this match. Oliver Platt is part of my Mark Dreams because John Cena, Bill Goldberg, and Oliver Platt were all part of the same scene in Ready to Rumble.
Such a stretch.
They were all part of Ready to Rumble. I think that was even before John Cena trained to be a pro wrestler. Not 100% sure.
So I have two things. I got two things. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick Gunther.
But I'm also going to pick John Cena.
But No. I'm picking Gunther. But I do believe that after the match, you're going to have a handshake between Gunther and Cena. Gunther raises the hand of John Cena raises the hand of Gunther. Gunther leaves the ring, and then we celebrate John Cena one last time. Do you think that we see The Rock at all?
I don't know. I thought you were going to say somebody attacks John Cena leading to a match.
No, but do you think that we see The Rock at all? Because after tonight, we could assume that we probably won't have like it's really like, but
I don't
still
think
that
anybody.
small
I
potential.
can't see this being another match. That would make no sense. Are you trying to say there's going to be another match?
No, not necessarily another match.
It would be nice to see The Rock show up. It'd be nice to see Batista there. Obviously, we can't have Shelton Benjamin. It'd be nice to see Rico there. I don't think that's going to happen.
Rico?
Yeah, he was part of that same class of OVW.
Oh, yeah. I'm going Gunther.
Rico.
I'm going Gunther, and I think that after that, we're doing that celebration.
I'm going to
That's
say
my
Gunther
final.
as well.
I thought you wanted Cena.
No, I can't see. I can't. It just wouldn't make sense for John Cena to win.
Yeah, I think Gunther, but I think that we're still going to get the celebration.
Yeah, obviously we're going to get a celebration.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
So that's Saturday night's main event. Going to take a quick little break, and I'll be right back here on Markin Out.
This is Judah Friedlander, the world champion, and you're listening to Markin Out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Markin Out episode 775. Moving back to AEW Collision from last week, it started with Orange Cassidy picking up the victory over Roderick Strong to gain points in the Continental Classic. This is when I start to worry about Roderick Strong in the Continental Classic, and I really hated the finish. Roddy controlled most of this match. Orange Cassidy just gets that pin as a finisher. I hate that. I really hate that. I really don't like that as a finisher. Mascara Dorada picked up a huge victory over Claudio Castagnoli to gain points. I think it's nice to see him get points here, especially over Claudio. I think it's shocking. First of all, this was a really good match, but it was very surprising to see this. I didn't expect this match to end after the Shooting Star press. A lot of people, I understand where they're coming from. They don't think Claudio should have lost, especially coming out of that match with Mox. I could see, I 100% see that side, but I'm very happy to see Dorada get that victory. You had Mercedes Moné pick up the victory over Layla Gray to retain. Mercedes lost the Ring of Honor Championship to Red Velvet, the TV Championship. So she's been crashing out on Twitter. She didn't let Layla Gray get too much in here. And she ends up attacking Christopher Daniels afterwards. The match, unfortunately, really nothing. Earlier, FTR had a promo. Stokely called Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson out for what happened last week. Cash said that the last time they beat them will be the last time they beat them. I think this whole segment was like Wrestling Trope 101, which it's not terrible, but I feel like everything that was said the other week with them was already covered here. Even fast forward to Dynamite, everything could have just been one segment. It's been 3 weeks of the same thing, minus the fact that Bang Bang Gang wasn't on Dynamite. You had Ricochet, and obviously Stokely cut most of the promo, but still, literally could have just been 1 week. You had Ricochet pick up the victory over Ace Austin to retain. The match was good. I feel like you had to know that Ace Austin wasn't winning. It feels like Ace Austin became a member of the Bang Bang Gang only to disappear from the group. And then after the match, FTR attacked him. They made the save. So I'm glad to see that Bang Bang Gang are all together, but we need to see them all together on TV. Main event saw Takeshita pick up the victory over Jon Moxley to gain points. When Moxley fell to the mat and then got Takeshita in a pin, I thought that was about to be it. But Takeshita ends up working on Jon Moxley's ankle for the whole match. I would have liked to have seen Takeshita end the match after the first knee, after Jon Moxley's ankle gave out. But he hit another one, hit the Raging Fire, gets the victory. I feel like they did too much on the ending there. On Collision as well, there was a Women Tag Team Championship sit-down. And I honestly think that the only person who did what should have been done to hype up the tag titles was Mina Shirakawa. I hated that segment. Tony Schiavone was an absolute clown in that segment. I hated that. I truly hated the fact that Tony Schiavone did that. Or did anything in that segment. But Dynamite kicks off Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa versus the Babes of Wrath. And the Babes of Wrath pick up the victory over Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa to become the new tag team champions. Or to become the tag team champions. I was very, very surprising. Very surprised. This should have been the main event. The match started off slow. It was a bit robotic, which was unfortunate. But I liked the knee move to Harley Cameron while Mina Shirakawa hit a DDT to Willow Nightingale. I hated the referee completely. This referee, if there was any part of this match that sucked, it was the referee. Over and over and over and over again. She just let Tony Storm and Willow keep getting in to reverse the submission. They kept doing things in front of the referee. The referee's, oh, what are we doing here? Oh, one. Doesn't get past the 1 count, if she even ever said 1. Ridiculous. To have a match where you're building up tag team champions, and then the referee is just, woo. Awful. The match, though, Harley Cameron reversed Mina Shirakawa's finisher. She hit her finishing move. And then Willow was tagged in. She hit the Dr. Bomb, gets the victory. I think a lot of people fully expected Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa to get that victory. I am very glad that it was the Babes of Wrath. Big shout out to Harley Cameron for accomplishing what she's accomplished in AEW. So, and I'm very happy for Willow Nightingale as well. You had Okada pick up the victory over Jack Perry to gain points in the Continental Classic. Jack Perry replaced Darby Allin, who is out injured. This match, though, I said it last week, Okada is boring. Jack Perry reversed the Rainmaker twice. He eventually hit it. I had hopes that Jack would maybe get the victory here, but I feel like you'd be stupid to think that, especially with commentary where Okada is the greatest tournament champion, blah, 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 wrestler ever. Afterwards, the Don Callis family came out. All of them came out. They had the money from the Young Bucks. I'm very confused by that because I could have sworn it was the Young Bucks, and now Don Callis is saying that it was money he was going to pay the Young Bucks, but it's their money. I don't remember where this money came from. I thought it came from one of those $1 million matches or whatever. I have no idea. But Don Callis offered Jack Perry a spot in the group. He offered him some of the money. Jack Perry, very stupidly, instead tries to beat down, I think it was like 7 people. Luchasaurus came down. He stops. They're still beating down Jungle Jack, but he stops. And then the Young Bucks show up. They attack. They use chairs. It leads to a match with the Elite teaming up again. Later on, though, Speedball picked up the victory over Kyle Fletcher to gain points. Most of this match was very, very boring. And I think pretty much until the end of this match, it really did not pick up for me until, I don't know, maybe like 5 minutes left. They had a ton of good false finishes in this match. I just want to be surprised. So I'm glad that Speedball got the victory here with less than a minute left. I also, by the way, completely forgot that Kyle Fletcher was no longer TNT champion. Mark Briscoe came out and did that promo. I was like, I'm so lost right now. I just forgot that Mark won. So maybe it's not a great start to the TNT reign for Mark Briscoe. On Collision, though, Swerve spoke for what seemed like forever. And then he said that he'll team with Adam Page one night only. Josh Alexander showed up, finally got to do something on the microphone. Josh Alexander killed it in this segment. Absolutely killed it. He ran down what he's done with since Swerve's been out, which unfortunately it's all forgettable. But he wants a title shot. He challenged Swerve to a match. That sets up a match between the two of them in Cardiff. And then Shibata attacks Swerve from behind, which just goes to their match on Dynamite, with Hangman and Swerve teaming up to pick up the victory over the Ops in a tornado tag. They brawled for, 10 minutes or so before around the arena. The match is a tornado tag. I don't know why they need to brawl beforehand for that length of time. Commentary said that you can get DQ'd, and then they also said anything goes after a low blow. So commentary was very confusing there with the rules. The match all over the place. You knew who was winning. Main event saw Samoa Joe pick up the victory over Eddie Kingston to retain. Hook was kicked from ringside pretty early on, and I expected him to be factored in the end of the match or whatever. That wasn't the case. I thought the match was fine, nothing crazy. Joe did an STF, which we normally see him use, but he winked, he gave a salute, and I could swear to God he did a "you can't see me" too. So I'm going to say that was 100% for John Cena, and I thought that was really cool. But not long after that, Samoa Joe locked in the Coquina clutch, made Eddie Kingston tap out, by the way. Eddie didn't pass out. He tapped out. And then everyone's like, oh, there's going to be some big ending of AEW Dynamite, obviously, with the women's championships opening. Something huge is going to happen. And then nothing happened. It was just that. So that is AEW Dynamite. Hey, Brandon, got any shout-outs?
Listen to Brandon's shout-outs, because when there's shout-outs, there's honey.
The first shout-out goes to Jay Kelly. Have you heard anything about this?
No.
It's a new movie out on Netflix starring George Clooney and Adam Sandler. It's not an Adam Sandler film, though. But George Clooney is playing a famous movie star. Adam Sandler's playing his manager. They end up in Europe on a journey of self-reflection after George Clooney's character has an identity crisis. It was written by Noah Baumbach and Emily Mortimer. She also appears in it. Greta Gerwig's in it. Riley Keough's in it. Billy Crudup, Laura Dern, Patrick Wilson, Isla Fisher, Stacy Keach. It's like a who's who here. I see some outlets saying that this could be the movie that finally gets Sandler an Oscar. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen or not, but I enjoyed this movie. It's a dramedy. I thought the ending was very well done. So I would recommend watching Jay Kelly on Netflix. My next shout out goes to Oh What Fun, which is a new movie out on Amazon Prime, starring Dennis Leary, Michelle Pfeiffer, Felicity Jones, Chloe Grace Moretz, Jason Schwartzman, Eva Longoria. So many more are in that as well. It's a comedy Christmas movie about a mom played by Michelle Pfeiffer who's basically just she does everything for the family and they end up forgetting her, which leads to her taking a road trip by herself to see a daytime TV show hosted by Eva Longoria's character. I can 100% understand why people in the reviews are saying this movie was really bad. But at the same time, I think they're too harsh because when it just boils down to it, it's a Christmas movie. There could have been more to it, but it's still a movie that I think can get people in the Christmas spirit. So I would say check that out. My final shout out, we have been talking about him this whole episode. It goes to John Cena. I think rightfully so. I've said this before, but I first met John Cena at the Sunrise Mall in Massapequa back in 2003. It was him and Randy Orton. And I asked if they could personalize the 8x10s. And there was a handler there from WWE. And she was like, absolutely not. Keep it moving, kid, basically. And Randy Orton was super annoyed. He looked up at her, gave her like a death stare and said, gimme that. And John Cena did the exact same thing. They both asked me what my name was. They wrote to Brandon. That really meant the world to me. And I met John Cena again in 2005 when You Can't See Me came out. Got to get a picture with him. I've gotten a chance to see him wrestle a good amount of times. The first being WrestleMania 20 against The Big Show. He won his first championship, the United States Championship. My last being a dark match at Madison Square Garden after SmackDown in 2021. He teamed with the Mysterios against the Bloodline. Of course, we saw him in person at Fanatics Fest, so that's like technically the last time that we'll have seen John Cena as an active performer. The SummerSlam kickoff press conference. He's been in WWE for over 23 years. Been wrestling over 26 years, so getting to go out on your own the way that you wanted, I think is special. And I know a lot of people didn't like this Last Time Is Now tour, but I still think it was special. Mm-hmm. And I
agree with you.
I don't think we'll ever see something like this replicated. And I don't think we'll ever see somebody... I mean, it's hard to think of seeing another superstar like John Cena.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that his legacy is just incredible, and this entire tour has been very special. I think that you can talk about his heel turn and stuff like that, but in reality, also with his heel turn, he did exactly what he was supposed to do as a heel. So
he did exactly what he said he was going to do as a heel.
Yeah, I mean, was it? I wouldn't really call it a failure. Maybe maybe the storyline didn't deliver, but I think that John Cena did. So the storyline may be not because of continuation and stuff and problems that took place, but John Cena did deliver for us during his heel turn. Like you said, he ruined wrestling, and that's exactly what he did. He didn't change anything. He didn't give you anything new. He did exactly what you didn't want him to do. He stayed the same and did even less and said it was your fault. And he also put on incredible matches during that time. You can talk all you want about the WrestleMania match, but he still did great. And especially that SummerSlam matchup and everything after that. That matchup with AJ Styles where they were trading TNA and WWE finishers and signature moves back and forth. This was just a lot of fun. So it's going to be, I mean, yeah, it's the end of an era and the last true champion.
Yeah, so thank you, John Cena.
Yeah, thank you, Cena.
Those are my shout-outs. Now it's time for That is right, our Mark Out moment of the week. I have to say, big props here, big time. Bayley last week hosted women from all over the world for a Lodestone seminar, and tons of people showed up to coach. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, TJ and Natty showed up. Maxine Dupree, Tyler Breeze. It was his school. John Cena even showed up.
And I'm going to say, I don't necessarily think 100% that all of them were there as coaches only. You know, maybe they did have segments and parts of it where they did coach a little bit or share a little bit of pieces of advice. But I feel like a lot of these people too, like Roxanne Perez was actually there just like everybody else to train and learn. Like there was a clip that I saw where they were talking to everybody, and Roxanne Perez, it skims to her, and you can see her listening to what's being discussed and stuff like that. So I feel like all these people that may have went there on behalf of WWE or whatever, I feel like I want to think that they were also there to learn too.
I think it's on behalf of Bayley.
Yeah, on behalf of Bayley. And I mean, you even had John Cena.
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily
like
even on behalf of WWE, but Stephanie McMahon posted about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But John Cena showing up, I thought was really incredible.
Yeah.
And just this event in general, I thought was incredible. The fact that Bayley, she paid for everything. I think that's really awesome to see something like that. Between that, which I think she deserves even more coverage than it had, and her interview that she did with Undertaker and Michelle McCool on 6 Feet Under, I think Bayley certainly has a path carved out to make the future of wrestling continue to grow. and be what it is.
Yeah, I agree. I think she would be a fantastic coach.
Yeah,
you know?
I really
and
believe
trainer,
that.
as
And I
she
think
is already.
it was great to see all the positive messages from not just the women that partook in this seminar, everybody else that saw this and was like, wow, this is incredible.
I agree. But I got to say that I marked out for everything with John Cena. I marked out for the trailer for Supergirl. I also marked out for CVV, if you couldn't tell by my 5 to 10 minute introduction. And then I also marked out for, marked out for Samoa Joe, giving a salute to John Cena as well, paying homage to John Cena over on AEW. And then John Cena posting on Instagram that clip that image of Samoa Joe in an AEW ring, which is just wow. But yeah, just a lot of markout moments, and I think that our markout moments are going to definitely continue as we head into the Saturday night's main event.
Also, Timothy Chalamet on What Do You Want to Talk About with Cody Rhodes? I think it's just to me, it's crazy to see or hear how big of a mark he is. He even knew Boogeyman's real name.
And the stuff that the fact that he introduced himself when he met John Batista, he played I Walk Alone and did the Batista taunt entrance when he met him. What a mark.
When he met him on
that's
the
why
set
we
of
love
Dune.
him.
Yeah, I think that's hilarious. And it's funny because they got him doing the Batista entrance during this as well. He also pissed off the AEW fans because he told Triple H that he wanted to see a show at Hammerstein Ballroom. And Triple H told him that it's almost impossible to make money and it sucks working there because they have one elevator to load up the ring, which we've heard literally for years now. We've heard so many people talk about how much it sucks running a show at Hammerstein Ballroom for that reason.
Yeah.
Cody chimed in saying the locker room sucks also. AEW is running there this month, and that's why the fans are pissed off. Some people are like, come, Timmy, come see it. It probably is true that it's near impossible to make money there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it was just cool hearing
so
Chalamet talk about all that, especially because he's like a giant megastar. Even when they first announced that he was going to be on Cody Rhodes' podcast, I was like, how or why? So, and it's really cool because he gets it. He was talking about how his favorite WWE event was One Night Stand 2. And then he even brought up the reason why Rob Van Dam lost the title. Which I couldn't believe they left in. It was wild to hear him talk about all that stuff. But that is the mark out moments of the week. That is episode 775. Thank you so much for tuning in. Follow us on Twitter at Markin Out, at BTTG161 on all platforms. Chris Sweendog, CM Sweeney85, David PTDPT on all platforms. Facebook.com/MarkinOut, YouTube and Instagram, MarkinOut11, ProWrestlingTees.com/MarkinOut if you'd like to support us that way. You can follow us on TikTok at Markin Out. Check us out. Rate, review, subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, iHeartRadio, MarkinOut.com, YouTube. Again, thank you, John Cena.
Yes, thank you, Cena. And we wish you the
best of luck.
Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Have a